The PlayStation Plus free games as well as the Xbox Live Games with Gold titles have both dropped, and I want to go back and compare both of the month's offerings and decide on which one is better. Now, I have to say, both months for each service, little bit of a down month. You know, PlayStation Plus had a big January, and they definitely are falling off in February. However, we'll compare it to Microsoft's offerings with Games with Gold, and Games with Gold has been kind of inconsistent since, you know, Game Pass really took over, but we'll look at both of them. We'll decide on which one's better, and we're just going to do it at a surface value. I definitely have not played all of these games, especially on the Games with Gold side, but we'll look at it from a value standpoint and all that good stuff. We'll look at some Metacritic scores. You guys know the deal. Alright, kicking things off with PlayStation Plus, the February monthly lineup. Based on the last video, we talked about the game reveals. A lot of people were disappointed, but let's talk about them. Off the top, the big title is probably EA Sports UFC 4. Now, sports titles being on PlayStation Plus is always going to be a bit of a bummer. I remember when the golf game was a Plus title, and my apologies for not even remembering. PGA Tour 2K21, I think it was. But yeah, that was a Plus title, and people were incredibly disappointed by that. UFC's a little bit different because you can view it as a fighting game instead of just, you know, a regular sports game, where you don't have to be a fan of UFC to enjoy these games, at least in my opinion. They are enjoyable, but they also definitely haven't evolved much since like UFC 2, so that is something to consider as well. It still goes for a decent price. However, this is a game that's also available through EA Play, so the value proposition here does get mitigated a little bit if you are an EA Play subscriber, so that is something to consider as well. Game's got a 79 on Metacritic and 84 on the Xbox One version, so that's something to consider, but decent score there. And from a value standpoint, if you don't have EA Play, it is a decent offering, but again, a lot of people these days do have EA Play, given that it's been discounted so much. I mean, they just did a 3-month offer for $5, so yeah, if you did sign up with that offer, this is kind of a little bit of a bummer. Alright, moving on from that, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, a Wonderland's one-shot adventure. This is most likely being used as a promotional tool for the upcoming game in March. But this is a game that's $9.99 and it wasn't received all too well, so not a great offering here, but you know, it is a part of a notable IP, so that is something to consider there. But it's a $10 title and it released at $10, so when you're really thinking about it, you know, it's been what, 2.5 months since its initial release. At this point, it's lost a little bit of value. It wasn't received that well when it initially dropped, so you have to take it for what it is. As an accessory title, it's not that bad. And lastly, with PlayStation Plus, I think by far the best offering is Planet Coaster Console Edition. Planet Coaster is a game that was incredibly well received on PC. It dropped a while back, but now we have the PlayStation 5 release, and yes, this is only available on PlayStation 5. That's immediately going to upset some people. I always recommend that if you don't have a PS5 yet, you go on the PlayStation app. You can go on your PlayStation. You can go on the PlayStation website online, and you can add these PS5 games to your library. So when you do get your PS5, they will be ready for you to download. Planet Coasters dropped back in 2016 on PC. Very positive reception on this one. 42,000 reviews on Steam, 90% positive, and 84 on Metacritic as well. However, when you look at a building management game like this, it's definitely going to be a title that's more akin to your keyboard and mouse and PC style of play rather than a console. But, you know, we've seen games like this make decent enough transitions. You know, I look at games like Frostpunk that would be more so associated with playing with a keyboard and mouse. Works decent enough on the PlayStation platform as well with the DualShock controls and DualSense controls, actually, with Planet Coaster. And then like City Skylines as well is another game that's probably more akin to keyboard and mouse. But Planet Coaster is a game that goes for a pretty hefty price point on PC. I mean, the base price on PC is $45. There's a bunch of DLC as well, but $45 is the base price. And you're getting it free here, well, quote-unquote free with PlayStation Plus. Again, maybe not a title that grabs a lot of people's attention, but it is a new release, so that is something to consider as well. So that's probably the best offering in the entire month, but even that is a little bit of a drop-off given what we got in January. UFC 4, I saw some people were kind of excited about that, but yeah, it being on EA Play definitely lessens the value of that one. And Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, you know, it's a notable IP, but game wasn't received all too well. $9.99 title. Value there isn't all too hot, so a pretty weak month for PlayStation Plus if you do compare it to previous month's offerings. Alright, now let's talk Xbox Live Games with Gold, because I saw a lot of disappointment with this over on social media. First of all, you got Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse. Now, this came out back in 2014 on PC, I believe 2015 on Xbox One. it got a very positive reception, 88% positive reviews, 1,447 Steam user reviews. That's pretty good, and if you're a fan of point-and-click adventure games, it's probably gonna be something you enjoy. It's got a very good art style. Games like this don't have like that mass appeal, but if you are looking for new genres to try out, point-and-click, there's a lot of great games in that genre, and if you're a fan of narrative-driven titles, something to check out there. Next up, the game that really caught my attention, Aerial Knights Never Yield. This is a running platformer with a very, very stylish look. The game notes, survive a futuristic Tokyo-style Detroit in this 3D runner that tells the story of Wally, who has just uncovered the evidence that can change his city forever. Explore a game world with a dope-tastic soundtrack featuring the authentic sounds of Detroit artists. It only has 43 Steam user reviews. Bear in mind, it came out back in May of 2021, so it was a while ago. 86% positive on this one. This is a $12 title, so it's a little bit of a cheaper title, but I love the art style to this game. A game that I never checked out, honestly didn't know. I believe I saw it once or twice before, but it's never a game that really stuck with me, and I'm surprised that was the case because the art style is fantastic in this game, and I'm a fan of platformers, so I was actually kind of impressed with that offering. It's a game that I think does deserve some more attention, so hopefully it gets that. Again, that'll be a title with games with gold. Then you do also get 2 Xbox 360 titles. These games are kinda, to put it bluntly, I don't think people are going to get too excited about it. Hydrophobia is the first one that'll be available February 1st to the 15th. Typically $9, use the engineering skills of the heroine Kate to fight back against terrorists who have taken control of her floating city. Featuring fast-paced action and breathtaking visuals, unleash the power of the water itself to wipe out your enemy in this third-person survival adventure game. Game got a mixed reception, 59 on Metacritic. User score was a little bit better at a 7.4, so it's an older title, so it remains to be seen how the game has aged, but $9 on that one. And then lastly, Band of Bugs. This is a game that has you play as your avatar and fight against spiders, bugs, and even your friends in Spider Hunter mode. Band of Bugs is a fast-playing, accessible game for fans of the tactic strategy genre that puts you into the game. Game got a mediocre reception, let's say that, as far as critic reviews go, but seems like some people did end up enjoying the game. Came out all the way back in 2007, so this was a super, super early arcade title. Metacritic has it sitting at a 68 out of 100, and given that we're 15 years almost removed from the release of the game, we'll see. I don't know if people are going to be jumping out of their seats to play that one, but yeah, that is another offering. Kind of weak 360 offerings at this stage of the game, backwards compatibility is only going to take you so far at this point, given that I believe they're not adding any more games to that, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but they are throwing in these quirky titles as games with gold games. So again, both months on both services, weaker lineups for sure, especially when you compare previous months, and especially when you're coming off that stacked January for PlayStation. You're talking Deep Rock Galactic, you're talking Persona 5 Strikers. This is a colossal fall off. However, I would still say that PlayStation Plus is better than games with gold this coming month because of Planet Coaster, EA Sports UFC 4. Yeah, if you have EA Play, that's unfortunate, but that's still a notable title. And Tiny Tina's, while it's a $9.99 game, it is a part of a notable IP. In the case of Xbox Live games with gold, Aerial Knights Never Yield, I think, is a game that can surprise a lot of people. Broken Sword, I just don't know if that's a game people are going to be jumping out to play, and that could be said for Planet Coasters as well, but Planet Coasters is a brand new release, so I value that a little bit highly. And the 360 titles, yeah. Hydrophobia looks interesting. It's a dated title. It got a mixed reception back in the day. I just don't know how that's going to resonate with the audience. And based on social media, it seems like a lot of people are disappointed. But that's kind of the story with Xbox Game Pass, given that, or I should say Xbox Live Games with Gold, given that Game Pass is getting all of the attention. But that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Gonna side with PS Plus this month. And yeah, that'll do it for me. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.